morning, time is 11 a.m. News headline. Sheikh Gumi, Professor Yusuf visits Igbo community, says Nigeria should live together. The popular scholar, Islamic scholar Sheikh Gumi has stressed that the need for Nigerians to live together as one is quite important. Sheikh Gumi, Professor Yusuf visits Igbo community, says Nigeria should live together. Popular Islamic scholar Sheikh Gumi has stressed the need for Nigerians to live together as one. The Islamic speaker made this known during his courtesy visit to Modakeke Igboho, a Muslim community in Ibadan State. In a short video cited on his Facebook page, the prominent scholar and advocate of a united Nigeria reinstated the need for Nigerians to ignore tribal sentiments and live together as a people. According to him, he has seen nothing in the state that would warrant people to agitate that they should be separated from our loved country, Nigeria. Speaking further, Professor Usman Yusuf, who accompanied him on his visit while pointing at the signpost of Muslim grammar school at the community, said that Igbo community has been made famous by a detainee in the Benin Republic. Referring to popular Yoruba human rights activist Sunday Igboho, he said Nigeria is one and will always remain one, adding that they had recently visited the hinterland where they saw examples of how people should live. And this is the headline, that Sheikh Gumi has actually visited Sunday Igboho's community, which is actually a Muslim community in Ibadan State, Modakeke in Igboho, where he met with Professor Usman Yusuf, who accompanied him on his visit, and they talked about the need for Nigerians to ignore tribal sentiments and live together as a people, saying that separating from our beloved country should not be the next thing for them, and saying that replying to him, they made him to understand that the Igbo community was actually famous because of the Yoruba human rights activist Sunday Igboho, who is actually in the Benin prison, waiting for a trial, perhaps to be extradited to Nigeria or not. And Sheikh Gumi, of recent, was actually saying that renewed military offense, that bandits are actually going nowhere and they are battle ready. We would know that Gumi has actually been one of the controversial Islamic clerics that have condemned the military ways of attacking the armed herders and bandits operating in the northwest region of Nigeria. And of recent, he has declared that the military offensive ways or manners of tackling the offensive Boko Haram would not stop the activities. Mr. Gumi, in a long rant on his verified Facebook page, on the Monday said that the reported military successes against bandits in Zamfara Forest will only complicate the crisis. He said that facing the reality that these herdsmen are going nowhere and they are already in battle gear, and we know that our military very well, like before things can get messy, we need cold brains to handle this delicate situation. He has actually been known to say that it is common sense if one allows one's neighbor to be one's enemy, that the person is already conquered. He said that because the neighbors can easily use the neighbors can actually be used against oneself by other forces. And as we see now, the herdsmen are ultimately used to destabilize the region and pauperize and even depopulate it. And in the statement which he titled Zamfara, the flaring of crisis, Mr. Gumi stressed that the military action is no solution or wisdom. He also said that now, with the prodding of the government to take more military actions of an already ugly situations where they were left to amass weapons, a huge military budget that is almost draining the economy, to a standstill in the purchase of fighter aircraft and conducting military operations in the region, has become to the authorities in their calculations a necessity. He also made it known that the huge military budget that the federal government is approving, they are only draining the economy of the country to a standstill, because yet it is not even enough. and that they need to just, do calculations where necessary. That unfortunately, that there is no even wisdom in spending much more funds on military gadgets, because when you don't have the monopoly of the instruments of violence, then dialogue has the monopoly of resolving the conflict. He said that is even what the United Nations is all about, that is roundtable resolution of conflict. And what we are seeing now is more than just criminals and criminality. That yes, it may have started as criminals or criminality, but like any conflict, it is dynamic. He said military actions in the past have worsened the situation, stimulating herdsmen resistance. That any more action will push them closer to religious fanaticism, and it gives them protection from discrediting as thieves, and also reinforce their mobilization of gullible young unemployed youth, as we saw with Boko Haram. That all these things that the military are actually doing to the Fulani herdsmen or bandits are actually going to continue to reinforce the gullible ones, and they would use, the religious sense to cover themselves from being identified as thieves or otherwise. And he said that he have met many of the bandits leaders to see a way out of this gridlock, and he have talked to the political class and security agents that, except for an exception, most state governors want a peace resolution of the conflict, and that the police and other security outfits have also realized the enormity of the problem. But unfortunately, the presidency, for what appears to be a political gullibility, which he called it, and the military for their budgetary gains and reasons, because as they are the most beneficiary of the conflicts of this nature, which doesn't seem to be on the same page. Mr. Gumi is a proponent of dialogue with bandits, despite their bloody imprint in most communities in the north. He has visited many of the bandits in their forest hideouts, and he has urged federal government to dialogue with the bandits in order to bring an end to banditry in the region. And the Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle had engaged bandits in the state in dialogue but failed to end the menace. He has also withdrawn from the process and endorsed military actions. And as a result of all this ulalabu going on in the country, Sheikh Gumi, known for his visits here and there in the name of peace and reckoning with bandits, has also visited the Modakeke Igboho, where it is known to be quite popular because of the Yoruba Nation's human rights activist known as Sunday Igboho, where he went to tell them that they need to ignore tribal sentiments and live together as one, that there is nothing that will gain if you are separated from Nigeria. There is nothing that anyone will gain. He said that Nigerians will remain one and always one, adding that they had recently visited the hinterland where they saw examples of people living in peace. Good morning. Thanks for listening.